Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of the first makeup products I ever used. Like the first. Like the first palette I ever bought, the first blush I ever bought, the first primer, lashes, powder. Not that I set my face back then. If there's anything here like mascara, I can't use the first mascara, but I'm going to use the first mascara that I really loved. And some stuff has been like discontinued. The majority of the stuff I have, which is really weird, which I probably shouldn't be throwing away some makeup. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm super excited. It's like a walk down memory lane. Some of the stuff I just cannot get rid of. Like, it's just so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic. All right, so before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, hit the bell, do all that stuff. I upload every Monday and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure to hit the bell so that you can come back and hang out with me for some fun videos of me using hella expired makeup right now. Let's jump right into the video. Okay, so I just ran upstairs to take off my nail polish because I forgot that they were chipping and gross. So if you're like, why does she have nail polish on and then now she doesn't? That's why. So to start off on our journey into the past, oh God, save me. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Like, tell me you don't remember this. Like, tell me you don't remember this. They still sell this. This is what it looks like. It's clear, like straight up dimethicone, and it's supposed to like make your pores look better. I feel like this is gonna break me out. It's so slippery, which is not my favorite thing in the world. I don't think I ever called this a primer. I just think I put it on before. Like, no one knew about primer. It was so weird. Instant Pore Eraser. It kind of blurs them. I don't think it like fills them in. I hope I don't break out. Oh God. So the second product is foundation. The foundation that I used was the Tint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick by Lancôme. To be clear, the first foundation I ever used was this, but the first complexion product I ever used was the tinted moisturizer. I'm also going to use the It Cosmetics tinted moisturizer because I used tinted moisturizer all through high school, all through all of that. So this is just kind of like, I'm going to do both. But the first foundation that I ever really used was this one. And it was pretty recent because I didn't start like really messing with makeup like until I like ended up getting like really bad acne in December of 2018. So then I was like, oh my God, I have to cover stuff up. I was like rummaging through my mom's stuff and found this and tried it, and like my mom was like a Lancôme queen. Like, we used to go to the Lancôme counter. My mom would always buy me something at Lancôme. I was like, thanks, Mom. But this is the shade 320 Bisque. This stuff is not exactly full coverage, but it's really nice because it blends out so easily. They do have like a foundation version of this. So I'm just gonna pump out a little bit of the tinted moisturizer from It Cosmetics and just blend the stick out with this. First sponge I ever owned was the Real Techniques sponge. I'm definitely gonna use this today, but also I wanna mention that the first Morphe brush I ever bought was this one. It's the M6, it's like a flat top. I just bought it by chance. Like, I was going through like foundation brushes and I was like, I really wanna buy a foundation brush and I keep hearing about Morphe. And so I was like, oh, I'll just get this one. And I never used it because right after that I was like, oh, I should probably get a sponge. I don't use brushes so much because they do emphasize on my texture, and I don't like that. I don't love the Real Techniques sponge just because it's really porous, so you're not gonna get a ton of coverage. Like, you're gonna have to use a lot of product because it's gonna soak it up. But it's a nice soft sponge. I'm just gonna pop some onto here and then just like blend out sections. The shade of the tinted moisturizer is medium tan, in case you're wondering. It's not going to give you a ton of coverage, but I like the coverage. I'm probably going to wipe all of this off if I'm being honest, because I do have a party to go to. Next product I would use, blast from the past. So this is Senna. Senna is not talked about enough on social media. This stuff is so, Senna is a great brand. You can find them at like online, or I don't know if Sephora sells them. They're very similar to like Makeup Forever. Like, I used to use this tiny brush. Are you kidding me? This is like a trio. It's really gross. Probably should throw it away, but I'm gonna use it on my face. These are so creamy, like one of the most creamy full coverage concealers. I don't like things like this anymore just because I feel like they're like annoying. Not really annoying. Obviously I use the middle shade, which girl, that's not your shade. Grab a brush. It's just like a Wet n Wild brush. Just like a paddle brush. So I'm just gonna dip into the lightest shade right here. Well, the name of this is HD Hydra Cover Hydrating Concealer Palette Shade 02. Sena is a great brand. I really would love to do a full face of them, but they're just so expensive. This is hella expired, by the way. We are going in on expired makeup today. Love that. So I'm gonna blend this out with a sponge. Blends out like a dream. I need to go get this. Again, need a little bit more here because I didn't put enough. So good. It's not like crazy cover. It's not Tarte Shape Tape. And it's probably gonna crease on you if you don't set it. This is like OG. Like this is from back in the day, homie. So I'm gonna get a disease for you guys. Just so you know. I mean, sacrifices for you. I never used to set my makeup ever. But the first setting powder I ever bought was the Bye Bye Pores from It Cosmetics. I first started like buying makeup myself without like getting someone else to buy it for me, which if you can do that, please do. I used to watch QVC all the time. Shout out to QVC watchers if you are out there. But anyway, so It Cosmetics kind of started their brand on QVC, so I would buy a ton of their products from there. They become like such a big brand. Like, by the way, who does not love that this fits exactly in here? Love that. Set my entire face with this. This really will diminish your pores, but it is, I think it's gonna give you flashback. I'm pretty sure it's a silica-based powder. But anyway, it's a really nice powder for like minimizing pores. So what I'm gonna do now is go in with bronzer. I think like the first bronzer I ever used was Hula bronzer. So I'm gonna use my Morphe R7 brush. This is like in the middle between like, it's a very neutral bronzer, but it's really nice. Feeling really cool yesterday. Figure out where your undertones are because I can be very warm and I can be very like neutral. Or like, basically, if you wear silver, you tend to be more cool tone. If you wear gold, you tend to be more warm tone. If you mix metals, you tend to be neutral. And literally, I mix metals all the time. I'm wearing gold earrings. I'm wearing silver rings. Like, I like mixing metals a ton. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm neutral. That's good. I knew that. I knew that. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. The brow product that I used to use was from Bobbi Brown. They discontinued the shade, but it's literally the exact same shade that I use now, which is from the Naked to Basics palette. Your girl loved this palette, like hello. But I used this shade and literally it's the same one from Bobbi Brown. Shout out to like how crazy I was back then because I used to use like this e.l.f. gel liner to do my brows. No, we're not doing that today. I'm gonna go with my Ulta liner brush. Okay, so brows are done. I never cut out my brows, ever. Like, if you are struggling with your brow game, cut out your brows with concealer. It's the biggest thing I could recommend to you. I'm gonna just use the brush that came with like a tiny little like lip brush. So I'm just gonna use the same shade that I used and just cut these brows out. I'm also just gonna use this as my primer. Did I use a primer back then? Heck no. Well, we're using one today, honey. I'm gonna set that with a little bit of It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation. This is the shade Medium. Concealer doesn't have a lot of pigment, but it is hella expired. I recommend that you use expired makeup. I'm just doing it for the video. I'll probably just take all of this off immediately afterwards. Go into blush, and literally my favorite blush was from MAC. This, I don't even know what the shade of this is. This is what it looks like. Like, literally, MAC was my favorite store back in the day. See that, like, how, dude, like, I don't know. Like, I can't even tell you what the shade of this is. They probably don't have it anymore. But anyway, it's like a really nice, like, pink. And it's, oh, girl. She is expired. But she'll come off. Oh, yeah, there she is. Jumping back into the Hula bronzer, I'm going to contour my nose real quick, and then I'll be right back. So let's spray my face, because like usually the time when I want to spray my face is when my entire face is done, and then we can go into eyes. So the first setting spray that I ever bought was from Ulta. This is what it looks like. It has the worst spritzer. Like, I don't know if it gets on. I don't want to spray the camera, but like it has a really bad spritzer. Oh God. Okay. It ain't great. It ain't great. Let's go into eyes. I have my Naked 2 Urban Decay. This is my first ever palette, ever. How crazy is that? This one, ooh, she's hurting, honey. She's hurting. Literally, the mirror is falling out. The shades are falling out. There was the Naked before this, and that one was like more warm tone. This is very cool tone. Now, I like a more warm tone palette, but this is really pretty. This is what it looks like. It hasn't really been loved. I didn't know what I was doing back then, but I will never get rid of this because this is my first palette ever. I remember buying it and being like such a big purchase. I think it was like 50 bucks back then. My only thing about this is that it doesn't have a ton of mattes. So I'm gonna take like the only 3 matte shades in here. There's only 3. So I'm gonna take Booty Call, which is like a lavender kind of a shade. I'm just gonna take that and kind of put that into the crease. Okay, so that is that shade laid down. Looks kind of good. That's literally all we're gonna be able to do today is like do this and like pop a shimmer on. They still have pigment. All right. I think I'm gonna go into Tease, which is like a pinky color. All right, it's like this color right here. And I think I'm just gonna take that on my finger. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of black. I'm just kind of dusting this on the outer corner and kind of bringing it into the crease, and I'm just blending it out with another brush. This is the M504. I just went in with that gold, which is called Chopper, and that has a lot more pigment. So I think this looks kind of like grungy and cool. I'm gonna take that black on a Shop Marseille brush. I'm just going to go right there. She still holds up, man. She still holds up. You can hear it. Go into liner, which the first ever liner that I ever purchased was from Fenty. This is their Fly liner, which you're like, wait, what? This probably isn't my first ever liquid liner, but it's the first liquid liner that I ever knew what to do with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was always like, oh god, let me try to do a wing. This is the first one that I was ever like, oh yeah, I know how to do a wing, I could do it. So it's a felt tip. It's really pigmented. It's a nice one. I like a brush tip, but we'll go in with this today. I think I'm gonna do a wing today. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on, and I will be right back. Okay, liner is on. Do my lines match? Heck no, they never do. I always end up messing like one up. This is so much nicer than I remember. I always remember like skipping, but it doesn't skip at all. Like, it does a really good job. I need to use this more. Let's go into mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes. The mascara I'm gonna use is the Mally Instant Impact Mascara. This is expired. This definitely isn't the first mascara I've ever used, which you should not be using the first mascara you ever use. Please, dear Lord, don't do that. But this is probably like one of the first mascaras that I was like, oh, I like that mascara. Like, I forgot to use my primer. Oh man. I used to always use primer. Like, my favorite one was the Tarte one with the Amazonian Clay mascara, but this is the voluminous primer, and this is actually really good. I'm gonna use it on the other eye. I don't use primer so much anymore, but I do like layering my mascaras. You can't really see with the liner, but it's a really good one. And it just kind of got booted out by the Leave Beauty mascara, which is my favorite mascara right now. The lashes I'm going to use today are my tried and true. These are the Kiss Lashes Look So Natural Flirty. They're the first one I ever tried, that I ever put on. The thing I love about these is that the band is so super thin. These lashes are so pretty. Love them. They're really nice. They're just a little too dramatic for me for every day. Not that I wear lashes every day, but like, I think they're a little bit dramatic, but they are super comfortable because the band is so thin. I never highlighted my face. I'm so crazy. I've bought plenty of highlighters in my life, but this one is the first one that ever worked the way that I wanted it to work. This is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator Gilded Honey. I used this on my channel before. It's a little tester from Birchbox when I used to do that. I'm gonna take this brush from Chic. A good dupe for this one, if you want something that's similar to this, that's like really nice and soft but like is blending, is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. I'm also going to take this and highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. Okay, so let's go into lips. I do have like my first ever memory of makeup was when I was a flower girl when I was little. Everyone was getting ready and putting makeup on, and I was like, I want some makeup. And so this really nice girl, one of the girls that was in the wedding party, gave me like a tinted lipstick, and so to this day I love them. They're really nice. The one that I like right now is the Revlon Kiss Cushion Lip Tint. Little sponge. It almost reminds me of the like Age Rewind concealer, but I'm not going to use that today because I'm going to use the first ever liquid lipstick that I ever got. This is from Real Her. Also, their liner is the first one I ever used. Like, I never use liner. Oh my god. So this is like really down to the bone. This is Real Hard. The shade of this is Lady Love liquid lipstick. So this is the first one I ever used. I'm gonna pop this liner on first. Still love this liner. It's a really good shade. I'm gonna pop this on. It's a really nice shade. So pretty. It matches perfectly to the liner. I love when lip kits do that. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So the first gloss I ever used was the Lancôme Juicy Tubes. Don't have it. I don't know if I want to go out and buy it just for this video. I'm going to use the next best thing, which is the So Juicy Plumping Gloss from ColourPop. Literally, I collected the Juicy Tube ones. I used to have so many, so. These are really good if you like glosses like this. Like, I'm not a huge fan. I like a doe foot, but I do like that it's like minty, so it's going to give it a little bit of a plump, and they're really shiny and beautiful. And this shade is Roundabout. Okay guys, so that's it for this video today. I really was so surprised. I was like halfway through this, I was like, I'm gonna take all this makeup off, I'm gonna like go, but like I really like the way it came out. Like the eyes really surprised me. Naked 2, she still got it. She still got it. She don't, she's breaking. But I really like the way the eyes came out. The face is a little too sheer for me, and everything else pretty much like stood the test of time. Majority of the stuff is not too old. The thing that surprised me the most was the palette. That the blush still works. Primer was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It still like blurred my pores. One thing that failed me, which was the Senna concealer. I think it's just because it's really old, because I remember this being like really full coverage, but then again, back then I didn't know what full coverage was. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun like going back, remembering. I'm so happy that I have a little bit more knowledge about makeup. I hope that you guys have a really good week, and you will come back and hang out with me again sometime soon. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.